Hey guys, FPK Napper here. Welcome to another League of Legends guide. I know I've not done one for a while, but let's get right into this. We're jumping on with Shaco. Usually banned at any and every opportunity, and this is why. I am here with both red buff and blue buff, level 3, while top lane is level 2. So I've out-leveled the solo lane, and I've got blue buff and red buff, and I've got a slow, and I go invisible. Shaco is just an absolute nightmare to come up against early game. What happens very often when I play Shaco is I'll out-level everyone, get an early gank at either top or bottom, depending on what lane you start at. As soon as I've ganked their bottom or top, I go in and try and counter-gank their jungler, and usually catch him. In Warwick's case, he caught me in the bush, but he still ends up dying. Tries to get away. I hit too hard. You're not going anywhere. Good night. Ahri comes up as well, which is not very common. Like, usually you'll get 2 ganks off. You'll get a gank at bottom or top and their jungler, but Ahri come up for some reason, like thinking she's going to get a free kill on a low jungler who's just killed 2 people. Gets absolutely dominated. Thank you. One of the best starts you could possibly ask for. I've given a kill to my top. I've taken 2 kills for myself. And now I'm like, just, this is God mode. I can go and do whatever the hell I want. Let's take a look at Shaco's abilities. Shaco's passive is Backstab. Shaco does 20% bonus damage when striking a unit from behind. This is great for jungling when you get the minions to look at your boxes and you can keep attacking them from behind, makes you clear the jungle really fast. This is even better for when everyone gets scared of Shaco and runs away as soon as they see a yellow puff of smoke. Because everyone's running away from you, all your abilities get a 20% bonus damage, makes you hit like an absolute truck. Especially while you have your slow and red buff slow, and oh my god, it's just beast. Shaco's Q is Deceive. Shaco instantly stealths for a short amount of time, and it's like a mini flash as well. And also you get a guaranteed crit for bonus damage coming out of stealth. The amount of time Shaco is stealthed is always the same, even after the ability is leveled up. It's always 3.5 seconds. So taking 1 point in this early just to get the stealth going is a good idea, and then save it to like max out later, because you still get the same amount of stealth time, and you still get the mini teleport, which is primarily what this skill is used for. I mean, the extra crit bonus is nice, but it's all about the invisible and the short flash. Shaco's W is Jack in a Box. Shaco creates Jack in a Box that after 2 seconds becomes stealthed, and then whenever an enemy or minion comes in close range of it, triggering it, it collects an AoE fearing everyone around it, and also shoots lasers at the closest target. I'm sure everyone hates Shaco when he plays AP, where he just sits in a bush, stacks about 5 boxes, one on top of the other, and you run in and the boxes just bang, 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 someone's dead. It's really annoying. I don't like playing Shaco this way, but it is viable to play AP Shaco. The boxes are really useful for jungling because you can get the minions to target the box instead of you, leaving you to get in behind, use your passive well, do a load of damage without taking any damage yourself. I'll talk a bit more about that in the jungling section. How you use boxes outside of the jungle in team fights is kind of difficult to explain. There's some situations where it's just clear. If everyone's like bunched up together, just whack a box in the middle of them. Hopefully they don't burst it down in the 2 seconds. Maybe they won't even notice it. They'll be too busy like focusing champions and whatever, and you'll get an AoE fear off. If you're running for a turret or something, you need to put a box. It acts as a ward as well, like a ward with a stun kind of thing. So if you're turret diving or you're trying to push a turret by yourself and you need to ward a bush, like you put the box in the bush, it show you if anyone's coming down and give you a bit of extra time because of the fear as well. In a one-on-one situation, I usually put the box down behind whoever I'm fighting, so they either have to turn round to hit it and I get my passive off, or it goes invisible and they'll get feared, so I get my passive off anyway, and they are CC'd for a certain amount of time. Really useful ability, but knowing exactly when and how to use it is something learned through experience. Shaco's E ability is 2 Shiv Poison. It has a passive and an active for this ability. So the passive is every like auto attack you do slows the target for a certain amount depending on how high it's leveled, The active is Shaco throws his dagger, dealing a fair chunk of damage and poisoning them over 3 seconds. The passive is deactivated while the ability is on cooldown, so it's probably not a good idea to jump straight into a fight with 2 Shiv poison because you won't get your slow off. But like usually I save it until the enemy's like they've either flashed to get away or they've done something to get away, and they'll usually still be in range, so you can chuck a 2 Shiv poison at them and hopefully get the kill. Shaco's ultimate is Hallucinate, where you stealth for a very short amount of time and create a clone of yourself that deals 75% of the damage you deal, and you'd get a 50% increase in your damage done. The clone is controllable by alt clicking, and when the clone dies he'll do an AoE like burst that does a fair chunk of damage plus your ability power, but with my build you're not going to have too much ability power, so I wouldn't be using this as a nuke. But its main use is for just duping out enemies. Like if you've got someone chasing you, you run in a bush, bang, hallucinate, they run into 2 Shacos and probably a box, and all of a sudden you've turned like a pretty bad situation into them being very dead. A really pro use for this ability is dodging certain channeled abilities like a Karthus ult or Lux's laser, an Ash arrow from across the map, something like that, something that would otherwise kill you in one shot. Because as Shaco uses the ability, the 0.5 seconds that he goes into stealth, he's not on the map anywhere, he's just off the map, so you can't take any damage during that 0.5 seconds. So if you time it just right, you can dodge that massive spell. You can dodge the Ash arrow, it'll just go straight through you, or the Karthus ult won't hit you, or Zillion's time bomb won't kill you. I'll have a quick flash up of the items I build just so you can have a quick look. They are jungling items. I build mainly for AD and attack speed. There's also a bit of survivability in there with the Guardian's Angel. The Trinity Force is a really, really good item. As soon as you get the Trinity Force, you'll notice a big increase in DPS. And the Yomu's Ghost Blade is a really good item if you remember to activate it. If you end up getting that far, getting a Yomu's, do remember to activate it because it really, really makes a difference. Okay, so let's jump in and watch some Shaco action. This is kind of mid-game. I'm level 6, so is the bottom lane. So they've caught up with me again. This is what usually happens: is you'll have a really, really good start of the game, and then you kind of, if you don't get really fed, you taper out towards the end of the game. Like the longer the game goes on, the less you end up doing, which is kind of what Shaco does, really. That's kind of the way I play him. I play Shaco as the jungler. My aim in the game is to get my carries as fed as I can get them. I will run away from kills so they get the final blow. Like, if I end up the game with 0 kills, a few deaths and 20 assists, I think I've done my job. Like, that is what I'm after. Like, by end game, but I'm by no means useless at end game. Like, I'm still a powerhouse, but I'm not going to be the range carry. I'm not going to be the AP carry, just coming in and dominating everyone. Like, the whole point is with Shaco is to get a really good early game for your team. So that's why Shaco's banned in so many games, because his early game dominance just snowballs and snowballs. Like, your team, it raises your team's morale. You're going to get them gold, you're going to get them fed. The other team is going to go the opposite way. Like, the other team's going to be dead a fair few times. They're not going to get the early gold. They might not get the early kills or whatever. They're going to be demoralised because no one likes dying to Shaco. Like, just the guy comes out of stealth behind you, starts laughing, puts a box down and just destroys you. It can be really frustrating. That's another reason why I really like playing Shaco. I do like the comments and everything that you get from people, just the hate that Shaco gets. Here's a little example of a fairly mid to late game team fight. It's kind of what you're going to be doing in team fights. Your carries are fairly fed. Like, you're going to jump in, you're stealthed, you go straight for a squishy. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. You just take someone out. You're an assassin pretty much. You just go, as I did, straight for Lux. I burst Lux down as fast as I can. She's there, like, they've taken one of their main damages out the game. Just wait for your team to go in, like, clear the rest up. Because you're stealthed, most of the time you can just slip straight past their tanks into their back line, find a squishy, like hopefully even stand behind them, put a box down maybe, and just destroy their back line. They'll have to stop dealing damage to your guys because they'll either be damaging you or running away from you, and you get a fear off. It's just really just completely disrupts what they're planning on doing for their team fight. Here's a little example of how to use your ultimate like an absolute boss. You see, we're in a pretty bad situation. Vayne goes down, the Ash Arrow's coming in. It would stun me, letting Trundle pick up a pretty easy kill. Instead, I pop my ult, Ash Arrow whiffs straight by, and I'll pick up a kill on Gangplank. Ash stays on me even with my clone out. Like, I was pretty smart here. Yeah, I turned a bad situation into a kill for me. There's not really a lot more I could have done there. But yeah, it's just an example of how to dodge abilities using Shaco's ultimate. That about rounds up my Shaco guide. I will put the jungle guide in a separate video because there's a lot to talk about and I'm already on about 11 minutes. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll see a lot more of those victory screens. I've been FBK Napper. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.